Jones.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the Black Bra podcast. I am Olori.
I am Eka.
And I'm FA.
Okay, any gist or shall we just
There's a
drive
short,
in?
this
Okay,
is
go on.
a personal, yeah. But
Feel free.
basically, I'm yeah, so I'm decluttering some things in my house, and so I found this person on Instagram, and basically I was talking to my mom about it, and my mom was like, "I should go and start the business because I think this woman makes at least 100,000 a day, and she doesn't have to she's not selling anything. She just gets a buyer and a seller. She's not storing it, so she's like a middleman." And she's just in her house making money. So I just thought it was funny, sure.
Like, what's
So
the
basically, like thrift, declutter. So maybe if you're moving to another house and you want to sell stuff that you don't
mm,
need, so she posts it on her page and then people will buy it. So like
Hmm.
she'll take her
I see.
commission. Yeah. So I mean, I thought it was funny, sure, because I'm like, Mom, like I should gonna start it as how now?
I mean, that's a business.
It's a
I
business, but
mean, she's
then
making money. Like
yeah, she's and there's no headache of anything.
there's no headache
No
exactly.
Yeah,
inventory. I'm guessing she also doesn't do the logistics too. So it's you that
Yeah, unless
the
you
buyer and
want her
seller
to.
would. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That's it. Yeah.
God, those people that thought
People are
about
making
those
money in
things
all sorts
first,
of
as
ways.
in stressless type of money, not all this one that
I
you be
mean, in a
shouting.
month, in a month, she'll probably make at least 3 million. Oh. Like, and she's not moving
Eh?
out. She's just like, yes, she makes like every day she posts something. Like for me, I know the things I've sent to her, she's made like close to 70,000, and I'm just
Hmm.
one customer. Sometimes
Wow.
her profit is like she'll put her own price, and then you settle on what she's going to give you or what she
Okay,
thinks it will
okay,
sell for.
All
So
right.
she
okay,
makes
okay.
like on average, she makes like 20K per item.
Hmm.
Wow.
What type of
Like
items
it's
are
crazy.
these?
All types. So furniture, beds,
All right.
equipment, Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
Oh,
At least you are
second-hand
being
business.
creative.
Abi,
She's not doing Yahoo.
Just that,
Abi.
oh.
Hmm.
Okay. Let me take the first topic. Oko Yabo. Um, let's take this as a gist because I'm kind of a bit tired of Yomi Fabi to be
Yeah.
honest.
Oh, I see.
But long story short, he released a movie called Oko Yabo, which was on one hand to mock Yabo Ojo, who has been spearheading this fight for the 14-year-old girl who was molested or defiled by Jesha. Um, and the movie was supposed to be a depiction of what happened with the 14-year-old between the 14-year-old girl and Baba Jesha. From what I understand, he didn't even change any names. He used the names of the of the real people as is, except maybe the 14-year-old girl. 'Cause I don't think we've ever gotten her name, but he
Mm.
used everyone's name as is in the movie, and he put it on YouTube. And that movie, I think, is what prompted him. I'm not even seeing more of his male colleagues. Like that was their final straw with your me family to say that you don't like
You
this
don't
is
do
crossing the
that.
line, like you've gone above and beyond on this particular issue now on the movie. The two things that I would say, and then Tampan of course invited him to explain, what the movie was about. Tampan ended up suspending him or banning him or asking their members not to work with him. Your me that last week was cautioning Yabo that we cannot disrespect our elders,
Don't
right?
mind him.
This week he's now telling us that well he's not really a member of Tampan, to be honest. That he's a member
That he's not
of
really a member.
yeah, that he's a member of ANTP. So he'll just go
Okay.
and renew his membership there. That for
Hmm.
Tampan, he took form and whether they made him pay money, but they didn't formalize that there was no follow up there. So he's not really a member of that Tampan. So that this doesn't really apply to him. And like what happened to your let's respect our elders last week
Mm.
Mhm.
that you had? The other thing that annoyed me about this situation is that um, I didn't watch the movie, but I saw a clip that was posted on Instagram, and Yomi had depicted the relationship between Baba Ijesha and the 14-year-old girl as a consensual relationship. That's how it was depicted in the movie, right? And for
Yeah.
me, I'm like, you have to be sick on some level. If because one thing, if you wanted to replicate reality, then do it fully, right? But to now make it seem like basically the girl was even looking forward to Baba just coming to the house, right? She was the one that was, you know how like a boyfriend and girlfriend were like, stay, cuddle up in, on the couch. That is what was depicted in that clip that I saw. So making it seem like what really was the molestation if the girl was asking for it in a sense, right? Ridiculous.
And I think that was what upset people. It's like the girl even said that when she grows up, she wants to be a prostitute or something in the
Yeah,
video.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's what pissed people off. Is like, okay, first disrespect, you use people's real names as so you're telling a story, but then why would you change that particular part to suit your narrative, and then you now say you're a human rights activist? What is your
Oh,
point? And my own issue is that he doesn't even see it as him still hurting the people involved that are fighting for justice, or even being disrespectful to the fact that this is still an ongoing court case, or
Yep.
even for the fact that your supposed friend that you're fighting for, which is Baba Ejesha, you're painting him, you're still aggravating the situation when his case is still in court. Like, who are you even, who does this thing benefit
Yep.
apart from you and your cloud chasing
Simple.
stupid ways? Like,
Simple.
I think he's mad. It's now me. That's my conclusion, because you can't be normal like this.
And also, the other thing that
what?
that worries me, yeah, is some of this older. So even beyond the GD Kosoko them, like I'm seeing some one other old Baba that looks like a herbalist kind of guy. And the story that I guess he has been fed with is that um Baba she did not settle Princess and
Yeah, boy.
Yabo, which is why they want to tarnish his image. I'm like, like really? If let's even assume that that is the case, shouldn't you be more outraged about the fact that this guy was having something to do with a 14-year-old? As in, they
I
get what
don't
I'm
know why
saying.
that is always missed.
Let's even assume that okay, yes, the reason why Yabo and Princess are going all out because the guy did not bribe them. Let's assume that is true, right? Shouldn't you be more angry that a 14-year-old was defiled in this process and adults are now using money to cover the as in that should be your first outrage, but no, you're more outraged by the fact
Yeah.
that they want to tarnish this guy's what image does he have that they want to tarnish? Like really?
I think what I've noticed in let me speak for Nigeria. I think if you're a woman or you're a young person, it's almost like you don't have as much value as somebody who's a man or who's older because these things it's the same thing that happens with because this in this situation it's a girl and a young girl and people are focusing on somebody who was not settled or we beg them that we should not do this. No, you're supposed to protect children and women are like the most threatened, I don't know, in the world and you're saying that because he did not settle this. And he was saying something about Yabo sleeping around. And it's like, that's not the problem. Like, nobody's asking if
Exactly.
Yabo sleeping around. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about somebody
She's
being
a
with an
grown
underage
woman.
child. This is not, like, he's not even 20 something. Baba, what's his name? Baba Jesha. I don't know, maybe like in his late 30s or early 40s.
Hmm.
And you think there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't really, like, this story is just,
Like when
I
they
don't
say
want
rape
to.
culture, like this is where it go. Like this is where
Mm-hmm.
like because sometimes like I think that these things are common sense. Do you get what I'm saying? But the way that I've seen old men defend this guy, it's almost like the image is more important than the psychological trauma that a 14-year-old was meant to go through.
They
But at
think
the
it's
same
nothing.
time, you don't expect girls to be virgins. So I'm like, where as in where are they meant to put responsibility on if men are as in, if men are molesting them? Do you get
Old man,
I
oh.
say I don't understand this. A woman is is labeled bad because she's not a virgin, right? But at the same time, she's being molested, and like I don't understand. If virginity is so important to you, why are you not doing all you can to uphold? Do you get what I'm saying? To uphold her chastity.
I think people are just going around in circles because they're all guilty of crimes that
Yeah,
they don't want to let out.
yeah.
So if you openly, like Iyabo is doing, or even in
Somebody
Kenchi,
will expose you.
if somebody will expose you, so they know the filth that is inside their closets. That is why they would either keep quiet or start doing. But my own issue is that even if this Yomi Fabi actually kept his mouth shut and did
Mm.
not do all this rubbish that he did, I believe it will even be better for the whole world, the
Yes.
world at large, because now you're tainting people's images. These other women that you don't know if maybe this Nkechi and Yabo, they were molested when they were children. Maybe that is why they are
Yaba
carrying
was
it in their head.
Yaba
Exactly.
was yeah.
So you coming to say sleeping around, that doesn't is a stupid point. Did you address the issue that somebody did this to her when she was younger? That's why she takes it very seriously. People just like, especially in
We're
Nigeria,
even
people just
jumping.
takes people's story
In
and
this
it
case,
doesn't.
a 14, except you don't believe a 14-year-old was molested, except that. But if you are agreeing that or some sort of sexual activity happened with this child, but you now still ignore that to be focused on the fact that Baba did not bribe Yabo, then to me you've missed it. Except you don't believe that that child was defiled. Except that.
I don't know. This topic is the most sickening topic. It is the most disgusting topic I have ever in my life witnessed, because of the way people acted. Just made me realize that the world is full of animals, and all this one self that we're even supposedly moving forward. There are plenty backward thinkers,
That's it.
both men and women, which is
That's
the
true.
quite sad, because
Yes.
there are some women that will come out publicly and be saying they begged princess to keep quiet about.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
mama, you are begging now. So is that how your child would have told you? And they do it. Your child will tell you, and because this person is a what I don't know, you will now tell your child to keep quiet. I
You
don't
know,
know.
you know what is most fascinating to me? Baba Ijesha is at best a C-list, D-list actor.
That's the
As
Because
in,
thing.
imagine if he was an A-list actor. Imagine the amount of cover up
No, we won't
that
hear
will be
about it
involved.
now. That's why we've not heard about
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Because the amount of support this guy is getting from all corners, I'm like, you shouldn't even have to wait for him to. Because it was when this video came out that I saw the men in the industry say, like, you know what, this is the line of
Yeah.
on this. But before that, this guy should have been cautioned behind the scenes. And I think that it should be, this issue of pride, right? Pride is to me the only thing that's keeping this Yomi guy going. You were
Mm.
on the first instance of how you came out in support of him when this news first broke. Rather than recoil, I'm sorry, I got it wrong, I made a mistake, you are doubling down, looking stupid along the way.
I
Anyway,
I
think.
think.
Sorry, can I just say one last thing? The double standard as well. Yomi Fabi has been going around making noise,
Mm-hmm.
being rude to his colleagues. But yet, this Tampan, which we discussed last time,
mm-hmm.
had the guts
Yeah.
to come and talk about Iyabo
Nkechi,
and Nkechi, who just were voicing out their anger, but they did not come out to talk about how Yomi is disrespectful, he's rude, and they've not come to talk about it to the extent that, and the passion that they were talking about Iyabo's own. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
that.
if he didn't release this movie, there would be no cautioning of Yomi.
But even the caution
Exactly.
itself is not like
It
is
wasn't strong.
it wasn't strong. That's my own issue. It's the strength of it that is annoying me.
And I would like to call out Tampa. I'm like, if at this point nobody that you have sanctioned is your member, I don't
It's
know
your
what's going on.
member.
Nobody that you have
So who are
sanctioned.
you
So who
really?
are you? What power do you have as a
I'm really
body?
tired of them.
What part? I mean, you have all the elders in the body, and you cannot get your colleagues to sign up with Tampa, because everybody's default that I'm not a member of Tampa. So therefore, you cannot ban me, you cannot suspend me. So who then of repute
Mm-hmm.
is not in Tampa? Who?
It's a stupid society, a be community, whatever they are. It's stupid. It's just stupid, really. That's what I can say.
And their activity on this matter has not instilled confidence for someone to
That
join
is
them.
the thing.
It hasn't.
Even members that were members before will leave.
Exactly. I will not renew my membership because what really is the benefits? Except maybe when I'm sick and I'm looking for healthcare money, right? Maybe
Mm.
then. But other than that, like what else is Tampan doing for the members? What?
Oh God! It is the fact that
I
our
think
sisters apologized and this stupid man gave a
they don't
malicious
mind
letter
him
back.
pardon.
Sorry if
I
you
think for me,
wanted to say something.
the bigger problem is just that let me know go broadly. Let me just focus on Nigeria. I feel like Nigerian people, because I've seen this happen where maybe a girl is 8 years old and she's just some people are sexual at a very young age. So whether it's a 30-year-old uncle or even an 8-year-old boy, anything can happen. So in that situation, let's say this girl is 10 and
Sorry,
every time
sorry,
maybe she
sorry,
likes being
sorry. Please, just let me just clarify a quick one. What do you mean
okay.
they are sexual at a young age? Can you just as in who is as in
Mhm.
the 8-year-old?
Well, let me not say, well, maybe not sexual, but some people are very, I don't know if I'll say inquisitive. So they want to,
Okay,
because they're inquisitive, like they find out, because I mean, I can speak for myself. I tried to find out information, even though they protected me against it. If my mother was
okay,
not very like on her feet, like I probably would have learned things I shouldn't have learned at that age.
okay, okay,
So,
okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
so parenting comes in, right? But let's say, okay, your parents are so busy. And I think there was even a Nollywood film about this, Shattered Home or something, many years ago with Kosi and someone else. But basically, what I'm saying is society blames a child because the child is wayward or well in the words of
Mm.
our Nollywood people, keep being the bad girl that you are. So the
Yeah,
girl is a
yeah.
girl and well she's not a bad girl but she's just exposed to things unfortunately and then you're like, oh, what is a 12-year-old doing with an old or an older guy? And it's like it's not about that. Even if she wants to sleep with someone, you
Fair.
the older person should know better. And people are not most people do not
Yeah,
question the older man.
that's
And you
true.
keep saying, he's wayward. Even mothers, I've seen where mothers will they will flog your life out. And it's like, did you ask the Oga or be the uncle what he was doing?
That's
Like, why are
true.
you flogging your child? Like, yeah, talk to your child, flog her, but you can't say some people will even curse their children. Like, he's you let him, you went to his room, you did this,
You
and I'm
wore
like,
this. Mm.
exactly what is it's the same thing with people thinking that because someone is a prostitute then the person can be raped. No, like it's people can express their sexuality. It doesn't give you a right
Right.
to touch them or do anything. Like you might not agree with what they're doing but you should hold yourself. How can an old man be touching a 14-year-old? And people have like it's disgusting that people even some people cannot talk and speak about it, and the ones speaking about it are talking in rubbish and we're just keeping quiet. Like even
And
if this
the
girl is a prostitute,
And you know
it
the
does
guy
not matter.
even
Even if she's a prostitute.
try to use spiritual angle because that would be the next angle that okay even
Exactly. That's
when
my
we
point.
discuss it that it's the devil that if
it's
that
always
they're
devil.
following
Devil
him.
just is
That's
there.
why
Eh?
It's his devil.
that on a good day he won't do this. So that is
Mm.
I was like
My own issue with these people's is the devil is that devil did not tell you to go and punch
Don't mind them.
a man that has muscles
thank you.
or go and kill somebody or go and even kill your own or this thing. Is the
Devil is
devil is
selecting
always
people. To
yeah, it's always selective. It's just so annoying. It's I don't it's
In
kai.
fact, the other angle that I think I've heard is that oh maybe the princess moved to him and he didn't that he turned down princess. That's why
So
she's
she's
now going.
angry.
I'm like, if sex was hungering you that much and princess offered herself up for you, why didn't you? As in, why didn't you
go
take the
for
offer? Why go for her young child?
And some people, especially what if is even saying, some people say, it's because the girl at this age, maybe at 12 or at
yes.
14, she has
She's
developed.
already
Is it her fault that
exactly.
she developed, like
Is it her
developed in the
fault?
sense of her body is looking? Is it her fault? I mean, she was supposed to tell God, God, reduce my breast that is growing big. Oh,
I don't know.
ah,
Like
Is
I've
it?
seen it happen. Like I remember in primary school there was this girl that was very endowed. Like I swear to God, we thought she was a teenager, but she was just a young girl that was very endowed. And every time she'll get into trouble for things, and I'm like, leave this girl alone. In that case, if someone imagine this girl that Baba Ijesha was touching, she even looks like really young. Imagine someone who's fully developed in primary go. So there's a reason he should touch her because she has big breasts or what?
Uh, my
Crazy.
dear,
No, we
I
need to
don't know.
understand there's a difference between like the age of consent. A 14-year-old, no matter how crazy, does not know what they're doing.
And you, the adult, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Simple.
If this was a case of a
As
14-year-old
in,
girl and a 14-year-old boy, it would be a different story.
A
We'll be
different story.
talking.
Exactly. We still
it's
Eh?
say
different.
they are both
They
wayward.
are both wayward
Yeah,
and immature.
but
Uh,
yeah, way old as in uh, Nigerian men need to do like I
For him
don't
to go and do
know.
a film like that, like okay, she wants, and
oh,
there are 14-year-old girls that have crushes on older guys. It doesn't mean that those guys should take advantage. When I was 13, I had crush on men that were 20 something, men that were even 30. Does that mean that they should sleep with me because I have a crush on them? It's not right. It's like I don't
no,
understand.
Like
nobody
we
blames
always excuse
those ones.
men. We excuse men too much. Like
Plus, my
Yes,
own
we
is
do.
plus the aunties will be excusing the men too.
but I
Oh,
think we also need to take this
Exactly.
thing
That's the way.
from a cultural um standpoint, because there are some
It's
cultures and
definitely
even beyond the north, to be honest, where you can as in, once you marry her, you're good to go.
yes.
So if you marry a 16-year-old for whatever reason, maybe the girl family is poor and you're rich, you just came from America, whatever, right? And you marry her, even if you're not in the north, right? Everything goes.
Yes. Happens in the
mm,
south, so
So that's what I mean, that those lines get blurred in terms of, is this right, is it not right? Because if you're able to make that girl your wife, right, why can't you make her your
yes,
girlfriend?
your girlfriend. That is, I mean, it's a weird
I don't
situation.
even
Because
understand.
she will date first. So to me, we need to kill it from that. Because I'm sure if they ask us the
It's
ages that
cultural.
our grandmothers or great grandmothers married at, we will
Exactly.
shudder.
I mean, my
Mm,
mom was telling me like when she was young, like she was like maybe 18, and they were telling her mates have gotten married. She had to run away from the village before they will marry her to one old man.
Uh-huh.
Like, so it's like people don't see anything wrong in these things
Yeah,
because
so
they're
I think
cultural
yes,
things.
that to me is part of the key problem that I ask,
that is it.
what's the big, as in
So that is why all this noise that is being made on social media, people are
people
saying,
don't,
what is,
yeah.
that's why they will call it, what is all this wokeness? This is something that has existed since time, you know? And
Because in Islam, for example, and I don't mean to be a Muslim, I'm not a Muslim, but I think the rule is that once she starts to menstruate,
mm,
she's good to go. So maybe the problem will not be that why did you just marry her? Why are you doing it on
Mm,
on a immoral,
yeah.
why
standing.
marry her? That would be the only, maybe the only thing that is wrong, I guess, in the
Yeah.
thing. Ridiculous.
I think women should just protect, well, parents should just protect their daughters since we live in this kind of society. I mean, it's just like when I was growing up, I wondered why my mom, like, if my mother sees me going inside or seeing me with any uncle, the kind of, anyways, let me just, like, she
My
really,
dear,
because
the
she
one
knows
that
how
I
she grew
did,
up. She knows how
that
men
I
are.
chopped beating. I did not even understand
As in,
what was beating. So
I swear you will never understand.
we were all in the room. Like, I mean, meaning as in we had like a group of family friends, right? And we have the different age ranges in that family friend group. Do you get what I'm saying? So they all came to our house to come and watch a movie. So we're all watching a movie in the room, right? My offense that day, like we were maybe like at least maybe 15 kids in that room. So it wasn't like it was just only me and this guy, right? Me in my I wanted to stay near the AC to get AC this thing. So I was not lying down on the guy. Innocent this thing. My mother walked into the room to just check up on what's going on in the room. She just saw me.
Yeah.
I said, okay, Olori, can you just see me in my room quickly? Why did I chop beating? Why?
Oh, God.
See that? See, guy.
My
Now why
mom,
you?
she beat me,
I
and
did
I
not.
mean, different times,
I
like,
didn't plot.
at some point,
And I'm sure the guy's mind was clean. It wasn't like a this thing. But to avoid any story that moved the abdomen, so that when I see
hey,
boy, I will run
The opposite
the opposite
direction.
way.
uh,
Wow. Hi, this life. Now, well, to just
just
say you were born a female, it
uh,
just too many problems. So
have to be really alert.
ah,
Like,
God.
you have to be. If not, people will just all sorts of things.
All because of urinating, bending down. God. That's what the stupid men say. Oh, Jesus.
Like it's almost like we're not human beings as
I
women.
don't
Like yeah, it's like
understand.
it's disgusting. Like I like and there's something like let's protect the man's image. I'm like the guy did not want to protect his own image first.
Image.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these men are probably sleeping with their house girl, so they can't really. In fact, the problem is plenty.
Definitely.
Don't put an underage house girl in the house. They're not gonna sleep with her. They but I say
Not
it's
just
just
yeah.
There are too many underage things happening in the world. I would say in the world. Underage, we still have some places in Asia that they are carrying underage children and they are doing they will say illegal, but then why has because sometimes I wonder a lot of things that are supposedly illegal,
mhm.
why is it that if it is something that maybe a large amount of people or the government or whoever is in
Yeah.
authority wants to crack down, they will crack it down,
Yeah, yep,
but some things
No.
that seem to be illegal will still be happening because people are allowing it happen.
yeah.
The reason why so many things go is just because a lot of people are allowing it happen. Then they will now say it's illegally happening. We've been trying to crack it down. If I hear,
Yeah.
Like
My
anyway.
advice, if you're raising a daughter in a developing country, just you're the police because the law is not, unfortunately, might not be on your side. So you really need to police your daughters so that they don't, and teach them, maybe, I don't know, when they're old enough. Because this thing, if it happens in America, like, who are you to come and be saying that they are doing film? And who are you? I mean, it happens. I'm not saying, I mean, pedophiles are everywhere, but at least if look at this, there's a tape, and people are still talking nonsense. That's my own
Exactly.
anger.
The consequences in the because Yomi would never act another movie in his life if he was in
that
the
is
yes
it. They will
because
cancel him.
nobody wants to be associated. I may drink with you behind the scenes, oh, but I cannot put my name on anything that you're working on anymore
Uh-huh.
because I don't want to be tainted, right?
Exactly.
That's my annoyance. That people even went to act the film with him. Eh?
They are
The
hungry
actors
now.
and
They're
actresses
hungry.
that were in the movie as
Economy is
well.
tough.
What is your own? Eh?
Economy is tough. One, economy is tough, but then two, as you said, some people don't believe that this is as big
Yeah.
of a deal that these things happen. You know, why we louding it too much. So maybe they are
And
part of that.
and some people, and there's another section that some people they just have bitterness against Princess Iyabo and this thing. So they want to show them
Right.
till you're out of point. You become out of point because you're showing them. Meanwhile, the main issue is not to show these ladies.
Like that I'm saying like that's so so
Mm-hmm.
so, so secondary. We've lost the child in all of this. We've lost the child in all of this back and forth.
Yes.
So I want to say to Princess, um, I don't know how you have done it, but the fact that we don't still know that child's face,
Mm.
name, like that's the best gift I think you can give
Mm-hmm.
that child right now because you don't want her mates in school running their mouths or something that they don't really fully understand. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, let's talk about Haiti. Where in a country that a sitting president they can walk into your house and just kill you
Huh. Voila.
like that. I'm in shock. And there's no
Yeah,
way
that
that
was
this is not an inside job because I don't understand. Because they
it is.
claim that the assassins came in as DEA agents. And my regular
Yeah.
protocol is anyone that's coming to the villa, Abby, right? The security personnel on
Mm-hmm.
ground, we know that we're expecting, um, we're expecting security personnel, right? Why is DEA also going to the president's house? Are you trying to do a drug bust in the president's house? Well, so that as a nigga, what I'm saying, because even as far as I understand, the president has immunity, so you really cannot do a drug bust in the
Yeah.
president's house, right? So I don't understand how this is not an inside job, in my opinion, where there was complicity across the board on how to get in and shoot this guy.
Apparently, they said like Haiti is known for assassinating like politicians. So I
Mm.
think in their country is like a very common thing. I
No,
think the
but
last
FA, this is the
two.
president's
Mm.
presido.
Yeah, they said president. there was one guy, is it Papa Dog? I think he was assassinated also. I think that was one of their I mean, I don't know if this thing is right.
Well,
That
This
was
is
one
not
of their presidents.
no, maybe he was a candidate, but this is a sitting, as in you're sitting on
what
the seat.
No, what this shows me is that presidents need to be careful and be humble. Why I say that is because remember that population is more than you. If people really want to kill the president, if you like be a sitting or standing president, we don't care. Everybody, even the people guarding you, they'll just shoot you one time because who is guarding you is still a human being. If
Right,
they decide to look back and turn their back against you, you're dead.
that's
You're
true.
dead. That is
Yes.
it. So this one, me, I will not be surprised. It's just they are just lucky. A lot of people that are presidents, prime ministers, and are doing funny things. If people want to really, really kill them, and everybody removes
And
maybe, and everybody is in one
and
unison,
even
hey,
exactly. No, Haiti, like they're known for juju and stuff. But it's like
yes, sir.
Odeshi, like
Mhm.
Odeshi versus Odeshi, like we don't know where these people got because it's like there's also supernatural and kini for the people that believe in that stuff. So it's
Mhm.
like, how did they get to you? Like, sure, your Odeshi should have told you that people were coming to kill you.
Exactly. Oh.
I don't know where the juju came from.
And they imported the killers from Colombia.
Yeah,
They imported them. Yeah, they imported them because I guess they didn't want a trace back, right, to anybody
yeah.
locally. But
Mm,
then, unfortunately, they now have two Haitian American interpreters because in Colombia they speak
Mm,
Spanish. In Haiti, it's French and Creole. So
mm.
they never supposed to
yeah.
interpret some things on the ground. So they've now arrested the two American or Haitian Americans, and then the Colombian and some of the Colombian guys. And also this president guy, I think he had overstayed his
Mm,
tenure as well, and had refused to step down.
yeah, and people were not happy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we either you move or we move you.
To
We
be honest,
move you
yeah.
permanently.
As in, and I think, to be honest, I think this is why African or leaders in general, especially in developing countries or poor countries, are scared of protest because they know people are poor, people are angry, people are suffering. It just takes someone in some force to just say, you know what, we've had enough. Let's just put together a team and just assassinate. Because it is actually easy to kill anybody. Like that's the thing. It might be difficult, but if you know the inside out,
It's the
if you're
inside
close to some people.
caucus.
Yes, the inside caucus. Like if you're able to penetrate and you're like, look, oh, these people. Because the thing is, when people assassinate leaders, there's always some sort of information flow from inside out or whatever. So it's like I think this is why people are scared of protest. Just so that it doesn't get to that point where people actually start thinking for themselves and thinking of ways to actually like get you out of there. Because anything can happen. So I don't know. I feel like because this protest, as in Haiti, has been hot since lockdown. Like they've every day, like you're hearing this one is dead, this one is on the streets, and finally it ended up in a president being killed. And I think this is what Uncle Buhari is also afraid of. And even I think it was Uganda that the same thing happened. And basically just went around Uganda shooting anyhow, killing us like people anyhow. So I think it's
You
trash.
know one thing African leaders get, because I think maybe Haiti, maybe they're not used to holding power, maybe because one thing that African dictators get right is that if you want to play the kind of game, two things: your inner circle has to be loyal to the core. That means you keep them happy with money, contracts, whatever be the case. They have to be happy to the core. Which why sometimes they don't bring their son-in-law, as part of that
Yeah.
inner caucus. Two, security is never lax. I don't think because many times in Africa, that's why I was surprised that it was not a military coup. It was as in they imported as in it makes no sense to me. As in you get what I'm saying. In Africa, the military, the security is tight. It's tight. So this guy must have offended
Yeah.
his inner circle, offended military, and just doing the way that he likes. In fact, the
Was
wife
fighting
got
against
shot.
himself.
He was
That's all.
my dear. Now he has
Step
pregnant
down, you won't step down.
they not kill the poor wife.
No, I think they said the wife is she dead?
No, she's dead now. They flew her to Miami, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
she died there.
Okay.
She didn't.
She
Just
died
the
there.
kids now.
Um,
Uh-huh.
Now imagine, and that means the kids' lives are over. Because if family
They
don't have
should
any close
just
friends
change
like
their
this,
name.
as in
Hey.
to maybe fly them to Miami, because many things are
They
like maybe
said they're in
Miami
a
or New
safe
York.
location. We don't know where they are now.
Ah, because life as they know it has
Change.
changed.
Your father was a president, you were living
From
large.
villa to only God knows what your life now is not going to be, you know, be
No,
like.
but it's like I keep on saying that it's a shame that now it has ended in death, but I keep on saying that I don't know how this power intoxicates to
Hmm.
the point where you lose guard and stop doing what you're meant to do. In the
It's too
sense
sweet.
that, yeah, in the sense that step down when you're supposed to step down, give the right funds to the right people. This is a country that has natural disaster plus corruption plus poverty plus haba. What like there are so many things that people can come against you for. The fact that people stand up in the morning and are looking at you doesn't mean that they
It
are not
just
feeling the pain. So what gives you the audacity? What kind of power? People reach a point where they feel like demigods, and
yeah,
then they start moving around forgetting that you can die, you can be killed, you can be locked up. They even removed his eye, so that means they have when even be whether before shooting or after shooting, they dealt with him. They had time to. So your his what do you call it, his security people probably even were the ones that were saying, they were speaking French to him and saying, hey, now we have caught you, you're feeling too big. Because a lot of people, is it not in movies that we see when the bad guy that was a big bad guy and feared by all, suddenly when he loses the people around him that were supposed to protect him, they are the ones that run away from death more than normal people,
that's
because
true.
obviously they were protected. Now they'll be running away from gun as if they were not using the gun to kill people anyhow.
That's true.
Please, people should learn not to be prideful. If it is in your nature, just seek the help from a divine being above, or
Your time will
any being
come.
that you worship, because your time will come. Hmm.
Or it's greed, chop and leave. As they, I'm not saying that you chop, but
Ataya,
chop and leave. Because if the guy had left now, maybe he will not be in this predicament.
what are you amassing the wealth for? It's like,
Because I think
when
he
is
was
it ever
concerned
ending?
that they will get him on corruption charges. I'm like, guy, like,
Were
I
you
don't know again.
corrupt?
Were you corrupt? Exactly. So first of all, if you, as in, don't be corrupt.
Eh,
Ah,
and he knows that the only way for him not to be charged is if he stays in power and
and
covers his tracks.
exactly.
Now, wow, I don't
And people are
know.
suffering. As in, because that country is
Suffering
poor. That
seriously.
country is poor.
So many people
That's
migrating to the
terrible.
US. Ah,
Ah,
and even in the
Even
US, they
Dominican
suffer.
Republic, that is their name for self. The Dominican Republic doesn't even want people from Haiti.
they close their
Hey,
borders.
now
Ah,
As in, they
wow.
closed it. No, I mean,
So
that's
that's how
black.
they've suffered. Ah, now
Uh,
wow. I don't know which
and
kind
they
of
never, I don't think
life.
they ever the money that they donated for the Haiti Kini when they had the earthquake. I don't think. I
Mm,
mean, this whole thing, like, there's an economic skinny behind it. So most of the money obviously didn't end up in Haiti. But even the one that was there, what did they do with the money? Like, how did
yeah.
they? I know it's hard to build up from an earthquake and in an already poor country, but still, it's like people are like, we did not see anything. No, our community is still like that.
But when we
Oh,
even
I
say
don't
this
tell you, black
earthquake
people.
issue, is the people that are doing themselves. They're not the first people
that
to have
is it.
earthquake, but they will give you people money to work locally. You will not chop the money.
I
As
don't
in,
know. Wickedness is severe in this world. Ha.
ah, now well.
Money,
Anyway,
greed.
we shall discuss later in a future episode. Because
Peace out.
Well, it's